Oh, I got contracted. Oh, I'm radioactive. Video killed the radio star. Viruses killed the Comic-Con star. The heroes came and filled your heart.
Nice.
That's when you start. You jump in right away.
There's another line that says "oh." I was waiting for it.
I'm not doing that other uh-oh. That was way too high pitched.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 55 of the Secondary Heroes podcast. This week, we're going to talk about the future of conventions and what viruses may play a part in. This is your host, Trevor, and joining me as usual is...
This is Prague.
This is Josh.
Dude, you threw me off with this.
Sorry to cough. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm not contagious. You guys are nowhere near me.
I had
We're
a
Skyping.
really
Fine.
funny intro, and now I'm... Nope. This is
Sorry.
DeLorean Wolfgang.
Oh, I guess I can try to do
He's
something.
the oldest one in here, so.
That's why we do these Skype calls, so we don't pick anything up from one another. This is the only way to stay safe to do a podcast.
Pretty much. Guys, stay safe nowadays. This is the safest way possible.
Oh, man.
Oh,
What's going on, fellas? What are we talking about this week?
Well, we have to sadly pour one out for Emerald City Comic-Con. ECCC is when we actually got our start as a podcast. And to see it now be delayed, maybe inevitably, it's sad.
it is.
It is sad.
Oh, no. Oh, no. All those toys and pins and stuff that people can't buy now.
Oh, no, we can buy it.
Wow.
that is what the crux of our
Don't
podcast
worry.
will be about.
Hey, they're still going to make their money
We
somehow.
will be discussing that in
Yeah.
full.
Well,
I think-
go ahead. No,
I
go
think
ahead,
one of the
Rob.
big drawbacks is beyond that, because you can fix that enough, right? You can sell stuff
Yeah.
online, but I think you're not gonna have that community feel. You can't go up and
Yeah.
like hug your buddies that you haven't seen in a while that you go to conventions with and meet people. So we want to talk about that in this podcast. Like, this is the first time that I know of that a Comic-Con of this size has ever been canceled for a reason other than I don't know, like I know there's been some cons in the past that have gone under because of the owner having issues with money or whatever, but this one's a pretty big one. And it's kind of unprecedented. So it'd be interesting to see what would happen and what we should talk about if other conventions are canceled moving forward, like forever.
And I think that that's going to be very interesting stuff for this episode. But before we get into that, let's take care of some social networking. If you like what you're hearing, check us out over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now YouTube, where you get to see our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check us out over on Mixer.com/Secondary Heroes every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, where we team up to achieve that second place victory in whatever game we choose. Look at you guys all having fun over there. And if you haven't already, please rate and review our podcast over on iTunes. It's free for you and priceless to us. And you know what? Shoot us some questions over on our... We do have an email, don't we?
Yeah, but on any platform. It could be podcast at
that's true.
secondaryheroes.com, Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud. Fire us questions anywhere.
AOL
Yeah.
Instant Messenger, you name it, anywhere.
That's
Yeah, we want
right.
to answer questions on the show.
We will answer them in future episodes. Because you know what? We want to bring our community to us without those viruses. So yeah, do it all digitally. Let's go, guys.
And before we do move onward, just to note, Trevor's spoiler-free movie review of the week will be coming later in the show.
I wonder what that movie's gonna be. I can't wait. This is gonna be great.
All right, so let's do this thing. So yeah, as said in pre-show, ECCC squared got canceled because of some virus. Now, what are you guys' take on this whole thing? Do you think that it was necessary to cancel an entire con for a virus that essentially, I mean, the flu has killed more people than this virus, and
I think
yet here we are.
I think it goes beyond that, right? So at first they didn't want to cancel it. The problem is that so many people were dropping out, so many guests were dropping out, vendors were dropping out. It got to a point where it wouldn't be sustainable to even have a convention. So I think it's Reed Pop that does this one. They had they pretty much probably said like, okay, if no one's going to be coming to this, what's the point of having people fly out and spend all this money if there's nothing for them to see and do?
Can see the city.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about is that at the end of the day, the ticket price to get in didn't compare to what you're going to get after all. Yes, Funko would be there, but beyond that, I mean, you have Fugitive and a couple of other people that, at least for me, I would be interested in.
Right.
But besides that, there's not much to look forward to at the $100+ you're paying to go.
Yeah, and you don't have any panels to go to because none of the guests are showing up. You don't have any meet and greets.
And if you're flying across country as well, I mean, that's you're flying across country to see these panels, to see these celebrities, to see these artists, and with this stuff being taken away from you, I mean, with people canceling and whatnot, it really, it doesn't make sense to.
And it seems to be like this is part of the general, I don't know, just like what's been happening in the last maybe few decades now, is that more and more people are doing stuff at home, whether it's watching their movies at home versus going to the theaters because they don't want to be outside anymore, or maybe it's easier and cheaper, or whatever the reasons. It seems like a lot of people are shying away from like events, and this is giving them yet another reason to go, hey, another great reason to stay home. I don't have to get some virus or something, or before this, the fear was bomb attacks, right? People thought that Comic-Con was going to be canceled the last few years because of bomb threats and stuff.
Even shootings.
Or shootings too.
Yeah,
exactly.
even shootings.
So there's this continuous like air of fear that's been going on that's kind of keeping people home, and I think that's going to change the landscape of events, not just Comic-Cons, but all events, I think, moving forward. So I think we should talk about that on this podcast episode and what that looks like to us.
I agree. Yeah. And I mean, we might as well just fire off and start. I know that Funko announced this virtual con.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they mean by a virtual con. Since ECCC got canceled, they're saying we're going to make it up. We're going to do this thing for everybody called Virtual Con. Could you guys fill us in on what that is?
Yeah. So from what I read from their blog post, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what it actually physically looks like and how engaging it's going to be. But it seems like they're going to be doing the kind of similar stuff they would have done at the con, just online they can watch. So they're going to have their panel live, but everyone can watch it. They're going to have a costume or cosplay contest, which I'm guessing they'll probably just have people submit videos or something and everyone can judge it.
What?
We'll have to see. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works, right? And then there's also going to be the lineups for the exclusives that they're going to have for people who already had the lottery ticket. So they get first dibs, just like you would in real life. And then after that, the rest of it gets sold off to the general public. Yeah. As far as that, I think that's all they're going to do that I know of so far. There might be some other fun things thrown in there, but that's it for them. That's not really.
They're going to do really the unboxing videos they do every Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah.
So they'll do that stuff. There'll be little things probably thrown in, little fun little videos here and there, but it's less of a virtual convention. It's more just their booth, like a virtual booth.
Right.
I mean, they're doing a good job of incorporating a lot of things that you would experience at a con. So I think for a lot of people that don't get the opportunity to experience it physically, just for whatever reason, they actually get to see maybe a tiny glimpse of what we get to see that since we go to cons, what happens, just do the cosplay, and then obviously their live panel, and then the Funko booth, procedures. And that's the biggest one that I'm interested to see, and just seeing how that's gonna go forward. If this is a success, this is something that they'll do in the future.
Well, I'm curious, is other companies doing this, or is this mainly just a Funko thing?
The companies are doing something in
similar,
their own unique
but
ways.
I think this is the first one that's been called a virtual
for
con
Funko,
of kind.
Yeah, because Funko, it's unique because they're using the people that won the lottery at the con, and they're giving them first dibs, essentially, to the products. So for other people that I've seen, they're just kind of letting it a general sale.
General sale.
Yeah.
And then Funko might be the biggest vendor of Emerald City Comic Con, so what they do does set the tone for everyone else.
Yeah. Which is curious to me. Whenever a company like Funko has con exclusives, does that now exclusivity of that con, is that diminished in any way? Because I know that people almost go to some of these cons just to grab the thing that has a sticker that says ECCC on it.
Yeah, I think it does.
That's a good question though, because the price still go high because usually it's high because you actually have to physically go there.
Right.
Now everybody's having the same crack at it, and essentially is that they're buying the same products from Funko. All it's going to do is some of them are going to have different stickers. So is this year going to be the anomaly to where the prices are the same across the board for each pop?
Yeah, they lowered the barrier to entry. Yeah. And then they also made it so part of me likes to get the official sticker because it's like a keepsake. You're like, oh, I was at San Diego Comic-Con 2019.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Like, oh, I remember that con or whatever. I remember staying in line for 12 hours for that pop. Yeah. Of course. Flying across the world for it.
There you go.
Just like what DeLorean's showing us there with the sticker.
Yeah, it's a sticker. But I didn't go to that con, but one of my friends did go to New York City Comic-Con and pick that up for me. So
nice.
But yeah, anyways, but that's the thing, is that sticker means a little bit to, I mean, obviously Trevor just mentioned that it means something to him to where he's willing to go out to Seattle to, get some exclusives. I'm excited for San Diego Comic-Con because I know that there's going to be exclusives that I really want, and I know that sticker is going to be on there. That means something.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool if maybe Funko came up with like a fun sticker that was kind of like,
in between, just for the virtual. I mean,
that's
what
for the virtual.
Yeah, that's what they said too on their list of things that they're doing, is that what you purchase online isn't guarantee you having that con sticker. Either it be the Emerald City one or the shared exclusive one. So now it's just kind of more of a randomization now, since they could grab it from anywhere.
Well, here's the thing overall though. Like I want to say, I don't know how long ago they started doing the whole shared sticker thing, because it wasn't just them. A lot of other vendors were doing it, Hasbro, Mattel. Once they started selling exclusives online several years ago, a lot of people were like, well, what's the point of going to cons anyways? Like, even if it doesn't have the official sticker or not, it seemed like conventions exclusives weren't as exclusive and pricey as they once were. Yeah. That might not be true as for Funko maybe, but I think it might start
Funko leaves it down to 3 pieces. Like, since Emerald City 2019, every single one has been 3 pieces. Because it started with SDCC 2018. That was the first one where there was 3 that you could only get at the con. And they've maintained that for New York Comic-Con 2 years, San Diego 2 years, and Emerald City last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this con, it's the same kind of thing. You have the Grand Budapest Hotel 2-pack, you have the Metallic Indiana Jones, and then you have the Loch Ness Monster. Well, the Loch Ness Monster was an HQ exclusive. I don't even know how they're going to handle that.
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah, how were they? Yeah, I had questions about that. I guess you physically have to be at HQ. You can't buy it anywhere else. I don't know.
Unless now they changed it.
That would be
great.
It's
weird.
Well, I think too, it didn't really say too much about that one on their, I guess, their information that they provided on how that's going to be handled. So, like you said, all of it is going to be new to us and to everybody. And for us, seeing how this goes, hopefully it's a success in a good way, that it works out, and that in the future, if situations like this continue to arise with either a virus or anything else that can prevent con from happening, this could be something that they use going forward.
And hopefully it's not like a norm moving forward. It's a fallback, right? You don't want this to be like, oh, this is great. Now we don't have to, set up booths at conventions anymore. We can just stay home. Yeah, hopefully this is more of a fallback, a great fallback option.
Funko has the pool to do this online. A smaller booth, isn't going to be able to tell everyone on social media, hey, guys, we're doing a virtual con. Come and do it, and we're going to still sell out all of our stock.
Yeah, some Etsy seller who's just trying to get their business up and running, making figures. They're not. What are they going to reach out to if they don't have people walking by their booth?
But
I don't know. Continue.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like this is gonna. These bigger companies, they're gonna be fine. Funko's gonna be fine. Fig Pin, they're gonna be fine. All those guys are gonna be fine. Who's this gonna hurt is really gonna be the artist, because ECCC is known for having one of the largest artist alleys, and I personally love going down the artist alley at San Diego Comic-Con and just watching people draw sometimes, and there's some artists that are just phenomenal that you just want to, right once you see them start putting something together, you're like, I have to own that. By the time he's done, I will own that. And that's the thing, is like, now these guys are going to miss out on that, and then even the people who would have gone are now going to miss out on seeing that art happen.
That's
so
true.
that's such a bummer, because Funko's going to be fine. Figpin, the smaller guys is who really hurts.
No, that's true. That's another aspect of a con that we not so much neglect on purpose, but in the grander scale gets lost in the shuffle, because I mean, that's a small part to some people, but it's huge there at Emerald City Comic Con, where Artist Alley is a huge thing. And for those people that have put the time and work for preparing for those exclusive prints or whatever they've done, they miss out. I mean, from making a profit somehow. But hopefully, because even if I mean, maybe if you follow them, still support them. Like, I know that one website was doing their best to put their website so you could support those that we're not going to go after all. So hopefully,
right. But a name can get lost.
It gets lost because
really,
I mean, you start looking at the list, there starts to be hundreds of people on that list, and it's easy to miss them.
But you think about some of these artists who they most likely went out, and this could have been their first con where they bought standees, they bought banners, they bought this stuff to hopefully have it paid off. Who knows if they're going to be able to go to, WonderCon or San Diego, or even, Designer Con, some of these smaller cons, who said that they didn't just blow their load on all of their stuff.
Right.
To hopefully either sell or whatever for just this one con that gets canceled. And there's already talks of canceling other cons.
Also the artists, I mean, even the smaller vendors, artists, they might stop being able to do this. Like, if you're not making a profit from doing something that might be a side job, or, I want to get up and running as an artist, you might not keep doing it all.
It's might discourage them.
Yeah, this is a big thing. Like, WonderCon is started of April. There's high probability that's going to suffer the same fate of Emerald City Comic Con when they're already canceled South by Southwest in Austin, and that's a gigantic festival.
This is a ripple effect. As you look at it, you're really seeing what this does to everybody. It's not. I don't know. I think it was. I think it was inevitable. People were backing out. You couldn't help that.
Oh, I understand the reason.
So I mean,
the best example I saw was if you went back 200 years and you could have stopped the very first flu virus by having people not congregate together in big groups, you would have done that. So it's not that this is necessarily the scary superbug that's going to kill the entire population. It's just you want to get rid of it while you can before it becomes a seasonal thing. Every year, you might get coronavirus. You don't want that, because this is like the 5th strain of coronavirus. You've probably gotten a coronavirus in your life. It's not some end-all, be-all, but we might get to that point. There might be some super bug down the road that builds on this idea that, we just kept going to conventions and it packed 25,000 people together.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. So I think that what the industry needs to look at is an idea of a real encompassing virtual convention, and what would that look like? Like, would it all be in headsets? Would it be just on mobile? Would it be a combination of the two? I mean, I've kind of come up with some ideas during the pre-show, but I don't know if you guys had some kind of ideas.
I guess it depends on the infrastructure, right? Because
how big
you have that Ready Player One idea where they have full-on bodysuits, you have the treadmill. We don't have that technology. You can strap a VR headset on, but it's really that's a visual cues.
Right. Yeah. That would be somewhere to go. That's kind of a neat idea. What were you gonna say, Alex?
But I mean, even if the virtual reality was to work out, and I am a big advocate of virtual reality. I love it. I have an Oculus Rift, and I love it. But with a convention, being there is kind of the thing. Like,
it is, yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? Put on your virtual headset and then press forward on a controller and just move around and go, okay, there's a booth. There's another booth. And just bounce around. It's not like you can sit there and purchase. Now, if they were to make in-game purchases or in virtual headset
what I'm thinking,
purchases,
yes.
where you could walk up to a booth,
you select it and you go through the store.
So
Oh, go ahead. No.
No, so-
I'm just thinking of so many
Sure.
different
No,
things.
I mean
But
you're on the right.
But that's the
you're on
right
I think-
path.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking too, is you would go into this virtual convention. You would still limit the number of probably virtual tickets to get into this thing. But once you saw a booth and you said, hey, I want to buy whatever exclusives at that booth, you would then enter a queue, just like you would on any other online sale. And you would wait in that queue and you could have a chat. They could talk to other
Yeah.
people in that line. I'm just spitballing here. But then, you can
Yeah.
go, once you're up there, if they have any inventory left, you purchase that item.
Well, just think about it though, that to set something up, let's just say it's a small con. Let's just say it's super small con. They've got maybe I don't
Super
know.
small con. Too much work. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 50 vendors. Let's just say 50 vendors.
Right.
Think about the amount of cameras that would need to be mounted all over this place just so you can walk through with your virtual headset. The amount of, I mean, because the only
Depends on how
other
you do
way
it.
that you can think of is if there's one guy that's got a camera above his head and he's walking around for you.
No, I'm not thinking of it in that way. I'm thinking of a completely digital space. There is no physical space
so
at all.
this is okay.
100%
all right.
Yeah,
digital.
so
Like you would,
somebody that
Oh,
missed
so it's
that
not like
fact.
100% immersive, like you're
Oh,
walking down the
yes.
aisles of San Diego
Correct.
Convention Center.
And
Okay.
That's
So kind
that was
of-
my thinking.
no.
So
I'm
somebody could
thinking
create
you
like
take
a-
a digital creation and you can walk around this digital landscape,
Mhm.
and booths can create their own like display in this virtual world, so you know what you're looking at, all that kind of stuff.
Like a
Is
whole
we somebody
Tron
like
world to
create
go through.
a
Yes.
Roblox world or a Minecraft world?
Exactly.
That's really cool because
Or
then, yeah,
Sims.
you can almost have like holograms and all this like
Mhm.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then the avatars of Ready Player One, where everybody's walking around and
Yeah.
you can go
You
into
have your
offshoots
cosplay.
to where you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do whatever
Yeah.
cosplay you wanted.
And that could just be even an online purchase saying, well,
Yeah.
I want to look like Master Chief from Halo.
Yeah. Or you can
And
create
then-
your own. Yeah.
Or create your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find, they'll have
And
some
my only
tools.
hesitation from like a consumer perspective is what's going to happen with this kind of Funko attempt at virtual con is that it's a lot easier to get around limitations online than it is in person. Like they
Mhm.
have security in place, they scan like barcodes so you can get into the line. You can't just be like, I'm first in line. You can't use special codes and get around
That's
various fail safes. And that's going to take so much work because it seems like that's a sector that whether it's sneaker purchases or Funko purchases or anything high in demand, ticket purchases, people always find a way around them.
Yeah.
No
especially-
matter, it's
Right,
been like
yeah.
10 years. People have been constantly, no matter what these sellers try to come up with, people on the other side will get around and pass the people who are naturally waiting in line.
No, I do
There's-
think there needs to be new infrastructure put in place for this. I think there needs to be a company out there to jump on this because that could be the next big hot thing.
It
probably
could
is.
be cool. It could be cool. Well, I mean, there are chats where you can walk around in digital spaces, and other people are running around as well in their own outfits, avatars, or whatever.
Right.
And but the problem is it's extremely toxic. A lot of those people are just nasty people.
Yeah,
But that's no matter what anything you do
Yeah.
online, people
Yeah.
almost show their worst side.
People
mean,
have
so-
terrible social skills, especially who go to
Yeah.
Comic Cons.
Well,
And
no,
then to,
no, when
to
you go
remove
to
that
Comic-Con-
barrier of entry of actually being face to face definitely opens up a whole can of
Right.
interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that sucks, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, there's always going to be a downside with stuff like that. Nothing's ever going to be able to replace that feeling of actually being at a con with other con goers.
No, but I think
That's
the
true.
point of this episode is to think of the alternative, not necessarily to say it's better than or can replace
No,
it necessarily.
no.
But
Yeah.
sorry, Josh, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just agreeing with you. What you're just saying right now is that I mean that's the whole point of it is just seeing it outside of for situations like this, and we can't control certain events from happening, and we
Worst
have
case
to
scenario, yeah.
worst case scenario provide something for the fans in some type of way. Just creating that atmosphere and bringing it to your house somehow. And that's the
Yeah.
toughest thing to be able to do. And I think, like I said, going back to like Funko, they're doing their best to bring that to them by, like you said, their lives and the cues that they're going to create. So hopefully, I mean, whatever happens beyond this, it's good. It's a good experience for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully it works out okay.
And then I wanted to bring up Prog's point before the show talking about celebrity interaction, because that's a part of cons.
Right.
Huge part of cons.
You can't really do signings. I guess you could, and they mail it to you. I don't know how signings would work, but would you literally pay money? Like a lot of people do Photoshop, photo shoots, like, oh, I'm here standing next to Mark Ruffalo or whatever. Would you pay the same amount or more or less if it was just like a FaceTime chat with celebrity?
No.
No.
It depends on the celebrity.
I wouldn't, but that's just me. I wouldn't pay, even when I'm at a con, I won't pay a celebrity to take a picture with them.
It depends on the celebrity, because with a picture, you're really just taking a picture. But if you have the chance to actually have a conversation with them, there are some people that aren't even necessarily A-list celebrities. It's just people I would love to talk to who are in the industry. That's the reason why I go to cons. I like to talk to industry people and just have conversations naturally at their booth. And if you get a chance to do that with maybe higher-end celebrities, I'd pay for that.
Now, would you do it like a streaming wise, that where they're just streaming themselves and they're just talking to people in general, and that's that
I was thinking one-on-one.
Yeah, that's
to
what
pay
I'm thinking.
For that privilege.
The one-on-one private.
Yeah, if it was a group thing, it wouldn't be the same. But if it was like a Skype call, FaceTime, whatever, you're one-on-one with celebrity. They actually say, "Hey, Trevor, how you doing today? How's the con going for you?" That would have some value.
Yeah, there should be some type of way to do that, because you look at Instagram, where they have to where you can add somebody to your Instagram live, and so there's technology that should be out there to where it allow people to queue up, and then you have 15 seconds to talk to them, and then it's the next person that they show, and then continues on from there.
And that's the thing, is having that time limit. Yeah, like you said, 15 seconds. I mean, you have to be as fast as possible with some of these people, because that queue is digitally out the door and around the building, because now you've got people around the world.
To digital.
No, I think there could be a limit, though. You can sell tickets for that place in line.
Yeah, no, you could essentially, the limit is like, we have 25,000 people going to San Diego Comic-Con online, but still, it's like the lottery. 25,000 people might then go get in line to talk to Mark Ruffalo or Robert Downey Jr. rather than I have to walk all the way on the other side of the building and I have to get here at 5 a.m. It reduces the barrier to entry.
Well, you might have to do it in that lottery system where you pick and choose a few, and they randomly get the chance to meet that celebrity. Then you might have to do that.
The lottery that everyone loves.
But this is a good idea, because in a sense,
not rigged.
If the technology's in play, the actor, whoever the act is, will pretty much make probably a better profit off of this if they're just sitting down. They could be in their PJs just talking to somebody.
They don't have to fly in. They don't have to spend all that money to the hotel if they don't get put up in a hotel, because not all of them do.
They don't have to shake anybody's hands or give anybody hugs.
Right. No awkward fan interactions anymore.
Right. Which I'm sure there's
people would resell the spots.
I mean, anything that there's going to be, there's always going to be somebody trying to resell something.
If it was just face-to-face interaction and you could take the resellers out of it, like there was like no way you could transfer your spot, the line would be shorter. Because if you couldn't do any, like a signature, I can then make this for that. Like, oh, I have this signature, I can turn it into this. But one-to-one interaction, unless that person is there, there's no value to it. Or I record a video of him talking to me and you're some third party. I don't know who you are. That doesn't mean anything to me.
That's true.
That's true. Like I said,
because it would reduce the lines, though. It might actually let more true fans get to meet these people.
That's true. I mean,
yin to every yang, I guess.
It's interesting.
Virtual.
Really interessante.
Yeah, this whole virtual con thing is very. I don't know. It's opening up a whole different world that really.
Because it could be for anything, not just for Comic Cons. You can do sporting events now and everything.
Well, and that's what music festivals and
music festivals, which we experienced in Fortnite, right? We did that.
Exactly, and
that was really awesome.
We were talking about it pre-show, but we can go to basketball games, sit courtside basketball games.
Always courtside, always. That'd be great.
Everyone. Instead of no one's paying VR to sit in the nosebleeds, they can sell the same exact seat 10,000 times.
Exactly. Yeah. They have to do is go to a live game, set up one camera, 360
or several
camera,
or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to set one up on this side, one up on the other side of the court, sure.
Well, I mean, they could even do it live for each game. They just have one person there doing that.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, they live stream it, and what
you have a choice. You can see it live or not.
Monthly fee,
Yeah.
You put your headset on, and now you get to watch basketball for free, sitting next to Jack Nicholson watching the Lakers.
You can sit there and talk to him. It'd be great. Yeah.
That was a call for you there, Trevor, because I know you like them Lakers.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Usually I wouldn't do that. I don't do that for just anybody, people.
Nice. Nicely done. But I like that idea of going forward, even if you just give the option to people. You can go to it in person and die of some virus, or you can get on your virtual reality headset and watch it from the comfort of your couch.
At this point, I'd take the risk with the virus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would have to be a really, like, if we got to a mortality rate of like 35%, like something like Ebola or even MERS was really deadly, something like it impacts a lot of people, and we might get there. And so that's why I think you have to have these virtual ideas in place.
Of course.
I hope they are. I hope they're listening to our podcast.
I think these virtual ideas are still good, even if the con is still going on. So even people that are at home that can't go physically,
that's their secondary option.
It's
a
still
secondary
that
money stream.
Yeah, exactly. There
Imagine if you lived in India or China, and it's like, I can't go all the way over to San Diego Comic-Con. You know, I don't live in LA or even live in New York, and then you could pay San Diego Comic-Con to go there.
Well, yeah, what you could do is pay them, have someone
just walk around.
sit in Hall H. Someone goes to Hall H with a
Hall H
360
prime
camera.
spot, yeah.
Boom. Set up the 360 camera. Here's the login. Sign into this. Now everybody can go to Hall H. Now now you won't get the giveaways or whatever special things that happen, but you can feel like you're there and you're a part of something. It's so tough to get into Hall H where people are staying the night on concrete, waiting just to get in there the next day. Yep, Prague, you're one of them.
Yeah.
Myself, I would never do that. But that's the thing.
It's a one-time deal.
But that's the thing. Like, people will do that. But if you give them the option, you can pretty much say, I'm gonna go walk around the con all day long. But I know at 3:00 my Marvel panel at Hall H is coming up. I can just sit down in a corner with my goggles, and I can now be a part of it.
Like,
So what? That's the world we live in now, anyways. We instead of
zombie
this, we're already going like this. So what would be different?
People are at the con staring at their phone, so this might actually keep their head up because they have to look at the VR.
They can't look down or anything. Some neck muscles.
Yeah.
So those headsets do get heavy after a while.
No, you got to mark this day, March 9th. Remember, we created this idea. So
we created this idea. We trademarked it here now.
And copyright it.
Secondary con or something.
Secondary con is a great name.
Secondary. See?
If we could get like some 360 cameras, we could start our own thing. And just when we're walking around the con, everybody could join us and pay slots to go.
That's great. It's in the name of the thing. Secondary. It's in the name. It's in our name.
Set up a subscription with the secondary heroes. Hey, go to our Patreon.
Wait, where is that?
We haven't set up a Patreon yet, fans, but one day we will. Maybe, but we're thinking of other ideas like secondary shows, a part of the secondary channel. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Maybe even virtual shows. You never know. Sure. But what do you think? Well, then, since we're on this topic, what about then actual concerts? Because concerts, that was fun, the Fortnite thing, because it was interactive. It was different than just sitting there. You actually had to do stuff with the joystick, and different things happened. You can look all around. But for people at a concert, like, it's so much more visceral live. That's why you go to a live show. Anyone can watch Fathom events or, go and watch it on YouTube or whatever. And that's pretty much what the same thing is. So I think it does have to be more interactive in a virtual sense, like that Fortnite event was, to really match what you get live. There's just no way. You're not going to have those amplifiers in your house, liquefying.
Right.
Well, it's the same with the sporting event. I mean, there's you could watch it at home for free. It's broadcast on main local channels and stuff, but it's not the same as being there, depending on where you're sitting. Yeah. So it's tough to maintain that.
How do you make
idea
it
virtually?
But if you can else extra.
If you can in your own way put yourself there after right once you put on the headset, you can almost turn off your peripherals or whatever and just be like, I am here. there you go. But I mean, I'm a positive guy. I think
Positive
I'm
guy.
like, hey, I'm here. Wow, I'm in outer space.
But
Every
it's
time
the
I
thing
put
is
on my headset.
you're creating a unique experience though with VR when you throw into it. It's something that maybe some people have done it in a sense, but in a grand scale where it's at multiple households or just different parts of the country or the world, you're able to give those people the experience. Like I said, it all goes back to people that can't go physically to give that experience still. Even you're missing the tangible aspect of it if it's feeling, smelling, or whatever it may be.
Ooh, smells. You can smell the sweat off the basketball players.
You do miss the smell of the BO at cons.
The BOs?
That's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
bonus
I mean, you can
feature.
still do that. Just don't take a shower and
Yeah, there you go. Don't take a shower for a week. Sit there and like a damp.
I feel like I'm just in line.
But I will say the one thing, like for concerts, as exciting as that would be to sit front row at an Elton John concert in VR, that moment where you are actually there and you can turn and look at your friend and just see your friend all excited, or your mom or whoever you're there with, that's the one thing that we're gonna miss is the interaction with others.
What if you can see them? What if they had it so that they can scan your face at some point?
create like an
So that
avatar.
say your mother's on the other side of the country, you want to take her to her favorite concert, but you can't physically go, but virtually you can look next to her and she's right there making whatever, crying faces she has when her favorite song comes on. Those kind of moments you probably could happen in the future.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we're in the way off future because we don't have
Yeah,
broadband connection to even stream Netflix. This is pretty deluxe what we're talking about.
I'm an optimist. I'm a futurist, man. I'm like DeLorean here. Mr. Positivity.
Mr.
But actually, we did take DeLorean into the future, and this is what's going on. We're just delivering the news to you.
Yeah, we're coming back with all we have some VR headsets. We went to virtual San Diego Comic-Con 2042. It was awesome.
We're gonna be like Biff. We're gonna have the playbook and we're gonna figure out who wins.
And they did have Nintendo at the Funko booth when we went.
Oh, it only
spoiler,
took,
Josh. I thought we were supposed to.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I just had to.
Brian's like 80s. Like one thing I can't have you tell anybody in the past.
I just can't believe that 10-inch Goomba Pop. It's crazy. It's really nice.
It's crazy.
6-foot Goomba Pops are standard. Yep. They're like $10 now.
Standard now. Easy to get.
Wow. We are now getting off topic.
Oh man, that's fun though. It's fun to think about that. But we gotta think about that because I think that's where we're headed. I really do. I hate to say it.
I don't know if people hate going to the theaters because there's so many annoying parts of the theaters, like the crying babies or the people who don't shut up or the people who stare at their phone throughout the whole movie. And it's like, I'll just wait till it comes out on, streaming is a better option sometimes. All you have to do is wait a few months.
Right.
But the cons, I don't know if streaming it's a better option. Like I understand it could be an only alternative that we have.
Right.
But the push that it's absolutely going to be needed, we would need to destroy the climate entirely so we can't go out. We would need multiple viruses you could possibly get by walking out your front door. You would need really devastating stuff.
Yeah, I think this is really going to be more just that secondary option for people that either couldn't make it because they live out of the country or they're too sick to go or they just don't want to go because they're afraid of it. So it's not necessarily going to be a replacement, but I do see this, if it is well received, what Funko does, I think maybe we will see more of this as an option for people, as a secondary option. We got to trademark this.
Yes,
looking this up right
now. I just think
con.
that they should be doing this anyways. There's such a big market on something like this.
I don't think they thought of it until now.
Should just not release this episode, and we'll just start working on it, and then we'll.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Save this episode until we trademark it.
This is the lost episode. Sorry, we didn't have an episode this week. I don't know what happened. What's this secondary?
And then we'll create the service, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, secondary conventions, man. Money in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna do it first, though?
Us.
Obviously, we aren't.
We are for sure.
We are.
Well, Alex will get the drone footage.
Invest in some 360 cameras. What do we call them?
I'll walk around with a 360 camera, man. I'm all right with that.
We'll do it.
Well, because right now there's an app on the Oculus that all it is Google Earth, but they call it something. It's called like Wander, and you could type in any address. You can go anywhere in the world, and you can walk around pretty much like Google Earth, but puts it in a 3D space, and it's really neat.
Huh.
But to do that with a con would be, I don't know. I still think that you would need to have someone actually like walking through the con with.
I mean, that's what we're talking. Yeah, that's the
thing on their head.
Maybe.
Yeah. I just
The
don't
digital
know.
space, it just reminds me of Ready Player One, where there's that other company that they're trying to just plaster 80% of your feed with ads.
IOI.
And if you walked through a con, there would be companies at like, come check out the Funko booth.
Guys, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I could compare it to is that I don't know if it's still around, but I know back in like the early 2000s, it was Second Life. So you're able to just walk around. I remember they had an Apple store, and then they have, McDonald's and all these other places. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. It's like, it's your getaway from reality and just traveling these real life areas, but in a digital space.
But people were getting married in that. They people set up companies. There's a whole, I think there was a Vice documentary on that of a guy who he sold sex beds. He would design sex beds and then he would sell them on there.
I vaguely remember this, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy was married, had 2 kids in real life, but
like had like a whole secret digital life.
It wasn't even secret. At night he would go on to Half-Life. What is it called?
Second Life.
He would go on to Second Life and he would meet up with his wife in the game.
Oh wow.
And they had a kid in the game who was just another person that.
Dude, that was my review. I'd be like, what the heck is this?
How bizarre is that? But with Second Life, people did that stuff. I don't know if they still do. Is it still like
role
a thing?
playing?
There's probably something else like it. I mean, it might not be exactly Second Life, but I mean, you have Sims and you have.
The only time I've heard of Second Life is when Dwight has it on The Office. He has that. There's like a whole episode about it.
Where he can fly.
Him and Jim are in it.
Yeah. But you know what is funny? You were talking about sex beds. In Demolition Man, they both strap on the VR headsets, and he's like, I don't think that's how you do it.
Or are you talking about when I don't
No.
We just won't talk about
It's something else.
Yeah,
Anyways, okay, back to cons.
because he wants actual like touching and she's
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't
Because
touch.
it was a whole future VR thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I do remember that.
Well, the future VR thing.
It does improve safety for cosplayers at Comic-Cons, though.
That's true. I guess.
Yeah,
Unless you have
instead of
that
being
full body
sexually
suit.
abused, you'll get verbally abused.
Yeah, verbally abused. Great. But you won't get sick, so I guess that's kind of the point.
And be sure to wash down your VR headset. You don't want to give that to somebody else. It's like how you get ear infections when you transfer over headphones.
Oh, gross.
Oh, you guys share that stuff with people?
All the time.
No, purposely not.
I walk up to strangers. Here, listen to this. Isn't it?
Oh,
great?
listen to this song.
Oh,
Check out my
man.
podcast. Here, put these
Listen
on.
to my podcast. Listen how great I sound.
Yeah, put these earbuds deep into your ear.
Yeah, push it in real deep.
Anyways, I think we exhausted this whole virus talk, though.
Oh, that just sucks though. I hope this isn't ongoing. I hope they do find some kind of cure for it soon. I don't want every con to be canceled. I still want to go places and do things. I won't be stuck inside all day.
Are you going to try and go to WonderCon if it's not canceled?
I don't want to be locked in the house and miss on NBA games and all the conventions, and then Disneyland will have to close. And
no.
And then football is gonna.
Oh God, it's a slippery slope. Once you start closing one thing, everyone's like, "Well, they closed."
That sounds like a great idea. Let's close down everything.
Started with the cons, and then and you know what? Then everybody's gonna blame the nerds.
Mm-hmm.
That's if they would have kept the con going and the virus would have spread exponentially.
Well,
that much
God,
quicker.
look at the people that were on social media, and they're like, "Hey, well, I'm coughing really bad, and I've got this really heavy sniffly nose, but you know what? Hey, maybe going to the con is really gonna lift my spirits, and I'm gonna feel good." And then You know, like that's what people are on social media saying, and then the CDC is like, "Don't leave your house."
Yep. It's like reading all the tweets. No.
No, stop. Don't be an idiot.
Yes, I guess we're gonna have to shut down everything now. That's what they do. But this is a sad reality that we're gonna have to look forward to, I guess.
It's not even a virtual reality.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. At the moment, yes, it seems like a serious thing, but we got really smart people out there. We got the smartest people out there gonna fix this. Gonna fix this whole thing for us.
I hope that it's one of those things where we're taking these drastic measures, so drastic that they are able to find a cure
that they
faster
pay
than they
off.
would have.
If they close
off,
all this stuff and we have like a huge coronavirus like thing next year, I'm be like, why'd you even close this stuff? You didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, we could have had all this fun.
Inconvenienced people.
Gosh dang.
You better fix it.
Smarties. I want my toilet paper. I want my teepee.
All right. It might be time to move onward.
Onward
time, eh? Well, I think it's been a while, but it's time for Trevor's spoiler-free movie review of the week of Onward, the latest Pixar film. And if you guys are on the fence of seeing this, like it only made $40 million at the box office, that's not enough. Because I'll just lay it down right at the start, spoiler-free. This is the best Pixar movie.
Whoa!
Gauntlet dropped. Gauntlet dropped. I love WALL-E. I love Up. I love Ratatouille. I love Incredibles. But Onward, it seems like they keep learning from the lessons of the past. Like Incredibles 2 was their best made movie, but it had no soul or personality whatsoever. And so now it feels like they then combined it with, let's go back to our awesome storytelling and build on it. We'll find directors who actually have stories to tell. And the guy who's telling the story had a very similar sequence to the two main characters in this, where his dad passed away before he really got to know him, and he just grew up with his brother. And that's what this story is. It's a tale of brothers, and they go on a quest. And really, the entirety of this movie, it's amazing how much happened. Like, I went to the theaters, and I came out, it was daylight savings time. So I went into the theaters at 11, and I came out at like 12:09. I'm like, how is that only an hour and 9 minutes? I forgot to change the clock. But so much happened in that movie during that 2-hour sequence.
Oh, that was good.
It's just nonstop from start to finish. And, you know, the trailers show the dad. They kind of spoil it. I was like, why would they show that big of a deal of what happens with the dad in the trailers? And it's because this movie is going to hit you in a different way than you expected. Like going into it, I was like, oh, I've seen this story play out. I know exactly what's going to happen. And the way they get you, the emotional pull, isn't what I thought at all. And that's what makes it so satisfying. So please do see Onward.
Nice.
I'm excited to see it right now.
All right. Right now,
the virus, go to the theater to go see it.
Yeet. YOLO.
So this is something that I shouldn't wait for Disney Plus then.
No.
That'll be a while.
Man. Now I got to go to the movie theater.
I probably will wait, but it does sound like a good. I do like the fact that they are trying to do what you said, is going after those original ideas that these creators have, these original stories. So that's exciting. I was afraid there was going to be like just a silly DreamWorks style kind of buddy flick.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Because that's how they promoted it, right? Like
the trailers do not hit at what this movie is. I think that's why it only made $40 million. Once you see the movie, you're like, those trailers were almost as bad as those Birds of Prey trailers that just sucked, and had no one see that movie either.
So we need different people making trailers is what we're after here. Okay. Well, hopefully the good word of mouth, because I've been hearing good things about it from everyone who's seen it. So maybe the good word of mouth will make for a better weekend next weekend, possibly. We'll see. I mean, I think
the only thing that really was keeping me from seeing it is the art style. Like the characters look a little goofy to me, and it looks a little too kiddish.
Right. I think it had that look. Like I thought it was. That's why I thought DreamWorks. I'm like, oh, this feels like it's more toward like the toddlers and not the adult.
The noses particularly almost identify with DreamWorks really well, but after like the first 5 minutes, it just fits with the narrative they're trying to tell.
Right, cool.
Especially the landscapes they make. One kind of funny aside that I thought of though is that they're both elves. Their mom and dad are elves. The dad has passed away, and the mom has a new guy in her life because we have to have that teenage angst with the new dad. Mm-hmm. And he is a centaur. This isn't like your mom dating somebody from another race. He's a different species.
Which doesn't matter.
No, but I mean, it's not like she's going in like being with a green elf because they're all blue elves. This is like a woman being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go date this horse." It's weird, but
maybe
I don't know
she
who
just wanted to
okayed
horse
that
around.
at the production meetings. Like, oh, it's all good, man. No one cares about interspecies relationships or anything because it's a fantasy land.
She just wanted some of that equestrian sensation. That's all.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's two. That's two, Prague.
Yep.
That's two. She wanted to horse around.
That's all she wanted to do. You know.
Oh, well, that's great, man. That's very cool. I might if I go to the movie theater though, I'm bringing wet wipes with me, and I'm gonna wipe down everything around me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That might have contributed to some of the box office too. Maybe people were staying home because of the virus.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
box office was only down 1.9% from last year, and last year Captain Marvel came out, so that was a huge boost for it. So it's weird that it actually was on par. It's just Pixar. I mean, I think they should open this in the summer. It's weird that they picked Soul to come out in the summer.
Yeah, you should flip flop those.
Soul, I'm kind of on the fence of way more than Onward.
Watch is going to be great.
I don't know.
I'm
Soul
sure it
looks
will.
like Inside Out.
It does. It has
Inside Out was
theme.
on their lower tier of Pixar movies.
I'm not a big fan of Inside Out either, but I feel like everybody raves about it. At least from
a lot of people
that I know. Yeah, they rave about it. Don't get it.
Did you get a chance to see Invisible Man yet, Trevor?
Not yet.
Okay,
I did see that's not Invisible Man.
That movie is getting like beyond stellar reviews.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what we're gonna say for a spoiler-free review for next episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that might be fun to go see.
Well, yeah, if it's gonna jumpstart the Universal monsters again.
Jump scare them, yes.
That works.
Nice.
Because Tom Cruise couldn't do it, so maybe the invisible actor can.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I guess that was his Mission Impossible. He couldn't actually do it. He should stick to that franchise.
Oh, nice. Good job,
mic drop. Yeah.
So I think that's everything for episode 55. Be sure to follow us and shoot us questions and do all that cool stuff. We're Secondary Heroes everywhere you could possibly imagine.
Wash
your hands. To everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next time.
Prague out.
See ya.
Celebs who aren't famous anymore and everyone knows it but them. That's your clickbait of the week.